Hello, welcome to Be Divine Vintage. Good morning or good afternoon, good evening, or hello if it's the middle of the night. Welcome to all my subscribers, and I hope you're planning on subscribing to my channel. That would be wonderful. So here I am making this beautiful embellished postcard today. It's from the Isabel collection of the paper cameo. The image looks like it's painted on top of a postcard, and some of this is my work, some of it is the original, most of it is the original artist's work. I've just embellished the paper, I've embellished the image, and made a lovely journaling card out of it. So if you want to find out how I made this, then please just follow along. So this is the paper that we're going to be working from. It's from the paper cameo and it's the Isabel collection. So this is the one that I want to use today. So I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to get my paints together because we're going to watercolour this, and I will be back very, very soon. So I've put my microphone on, a new microphone, so things should sound better. So I've cut out the postcard. It is print. This image was printed on some coffee stained paper. I've got some watercolours here just to show you that you don't need absolute top of the range watercolours. These are just, you see, a bendy plastic palette that I just got at a local craft shop, and I've got some water, so I'm just going to spray my colours. I've also got a palette here. You can see a palette. I'll just put some colour, not some colours, some water into that as well. And I have got some kitchen roll and a brush. So let's begin. Actually, let's have a little pot of water too. So I'll just put some water out my spray into there. This is a vintage meat paste. So I can't show you, it's sideways now. Vintage meat paste pot that I have some of these in my shop, or if I haven't at the moment I will have soon. Right, so we're now going to just watercolour onto here. So I do love blue. Blue is one of my, at the minute, my go-to colours. The main colours of these Isabel papers seem to be blue, pinks and yellow, so I'm going to look at using this turquoisey blue here. Now what I do want is, this is just going to be a colour wash, so I don't want it to be a thick paint. So let's have a look, because I want everything underneath. I want all these flowers and little images to show through. So let's just have a little paint of the arms. So that is a little bit too washy. So a little bit more colour. And let's just try that again. That's better. So I'm just going over the image. Now, if I go out of the lines, I'm not over bothered because it is supposed to be vintage. You see how I just blotted that off as well? Yeah, if I go out of the lines, I'm not overly bothered. I'm using quite a fine brush, not too fine. I'm just going up over. Like I say, if I come out of the lines, I'm not overly bothered because it is vintage. Making the postcard look vintage. So I'm going over the skirt in this blue as well, but I think I'll do the bodice just a little bit darker. Always remember too, if you're mixing a colour wash or a colour, any colour, to make sure that you have enough for the project that you're doing, because it would be very, very difficult to reproduce it when you're watering down and adding colours and things. There we go. That's nice. I like that. And don't put on too much paint, just enjoy, have fun. Let's do that. That is so pretty, that colour. Oh, I like that. I'm going to add that turquoise back in there, but I just want the bodice to be just a slightly different shade of blue. So I'm just popping in a little bit of this sort of sky blue, spring sky blue colour. There we go. And I'm just going to do the bodice, she says, with that. Ooh. Be a bit more careful here. It's just very slightly a different shade of blue. There we go. I like how the blue is sort of taken differently there in some areas, even though it was exactly the same blues. And that's probably because this has been dyed with coffee. Right, so now I want to put some pink on for these flowers and pink around her head. It's got wet there. Right, so let's have a look at some pink now. I've only got, oh no, I've 2 pinks there. I thought I only had that vibrant pink. So I could do with a nice oh, in my brush. Don't want blue, do I? Right, so we want a nice pink. I want like a rose coloured pink. That's nice. Let's just put a bit of purple in there. That's nice. But I want this a little bit thicker. Right, so I'm going to dot on these flowers. So I'm literally just dotting the pink. Now it may not be colourful enough. Let's have a look. No, we need a little bit more colour. So just keep mixing and testing. I mean, if you want to test, and there's the original, you could always just do a little test on the bits you're not going to use. That's quite nice. So let's try that. You need to watch out when you're spraying and what have you. Anyway, like I say, I'm not too worried because it is supposed to be a very, very old postcard. Let's try again up here. That's a bit better. So I'm just putting the dots on to represent the flowers. Oh, lovely. She's got the same, oh, that's the back of the flowers coming round her head there. Now I believe that she would have the same flowers on her dress. So let's do the same round her dress. They come all the way down here. That's pretty. I do love turquoise and pink together. In fact, let's just move that back a bit and up a bit. Slightly going out of shot there, wasn't it? She's got some flowers here. Then she seems to have had little bouquets, not bouquets, little posies, little clusters around her dress as well. Let's have a look. Just adds that little bit of extra depth to the image. See what a difference that makes? Right, so what I'm going to do is, if these are flowers, they're going to have some green with them, but also I'm just going to put some of this creamy coloured, just to add some extra colour to the roses, because as we know, they're not just pure pink, exactly the same colour. Well, English wild roses aren't. Right, so we'll just put some little lighter blobs in there. I'm just popping those onto. I'm trying to get them, if I can, on top of the other dots that I painted, just to add depth to the flowers. I think that's really, really pretty. Oh, Sharon, I like that. Such a windy day today. It's another beautiful spring day. I was thinking of taking the dog out, but she's going for a, she goes to the grooming parlour and has all sorts done. She'll have a haircut, a lovely wash, bath haircut. She has a blueberry foot massage, has her teeth cleaned. I'm just going to come down there as well. Just going to add some more blue to that round there. Yeah, she has her teeth cleaned. I've noticed some balls, so I'm just going to put a little bit of blue where these balls are. Perhaps on here as well. Yes, she has everything done. Teeth cleaned, massage. Beautiful spa day for her. So there's no point taking her out for a walk. She's elderly. She's 14, so I think taking her out for a walk, I mean, it's a good thing to do, take her out for a walk before the massage. However, before the spa, but however, she's 14 and she would not enjoy going out twice. So can you see I'm just sort of titillating this up? Adding a bit more of that pink until I feel sort of happy with that picture. Oh, it's gone a bit purple now. I think there's some balls there. Right, there we go. That's lovely. Right, I'll leave that to dry and I will be back with you very, very shortly. Just block that off and I'll see you in a minute. So she's dried now. However, I've noticed that she needs some folds putting into her dress because as it's dried, it's not quite as opaque. So I'm mixing the blue and purple together here. The blue and pink, I mean, to get this purple. And I'm just going to pop on some like these little lines where her bodice is. Just to add some depth and dimension to her dress. So I'll just go and dry off and I will be back shortly. Here we are, it's dried now, so you can see like the accents from the purple that I put on there. This is where I accidentally put it down in the water that I'd sprayed, but I think it looks quite good. So now I've got my diamond glaze out. I love this, love diamond glaze. It's very similar to glossy accents. Let's undo it. I've got a little piece of paper here. I'm just going to put a little bit on there. And what I'm going to do now is over my flowers, I've got my paintbrush, and over my flowers, let me just check it's dry. Yeah, it is. So over my flowers, I'm just going to dot glossy accents. Just going to dot it on there, and this will add more depth to those flowers. Just bring it up and you see, whoop, You see the little bit of the shine on there. I'll be able to show it you better when it's finished, when the glossy accents is dry. Not the glossy accents, the diamond glaze, but you can use glossy accents. So I'm just dotting that on all the flowers, just dotting it. I'm not brushing it, just dotting it over, just to add to the effect of those flowers. And those flowers went down a dress there. We've got flowers around her bodice. I love where the water has got onto there and just added that extra dimension. So I'm also going to go over the ribbons. Here, here, a little bit here. Whoops. Round the bottom of her bodice, wherever you want to, really. I'm looking at all these little pink flowers as well on here. And then what I'm going to do, and I will do it off screen because it's very, very boring to watch, is I'm going to paint this with my acrylic wax. So when this is dried, I'll paint all around this with my acrylic wax to seal that in and just to give a nice finish to the page. So yeah, just keep going with your diamond glaze or your glossy accents as much as you want to do. Obviously without going completely OTT. I'm just going to put some more down here. And you see the gloss on there, how it just brings that extra dimension. It brings the colour out, it adds that extra dimension. You could always put a bit of glitter on if you wanted to, whatever you want. It's okay, so I'm now going to go over that with acrylic wax, which I love. It's a good sealant, and when everything's dry I will be back. Just wanted to show you, I've gone around the image with my acrylic wax, and just so you can see like the shine that's come on there, and the paper feels so much sturdier. I need to go over the image. I was just waiting for the diamond glaze to dry. The beautiful thing with diamond glaze is you can dry it. I'm not sure, I don't think you can dry glossy accents. I think you have to wait for it to dry. So I'll just do the rest now and come back to you. So I love this. This is the back of a postcard, and to me it looks like I've painted that on the back of a postcard. I think I might replace the stamp with a real vintage stamp. I'm just inking the edge now with a vintage photo. And then what I want to do is back the postcard, which would technically be the front of the postcard, but I want it to be available to write on within the journal, like a journaling card. So I've got this lovely, I must have water everywhere, it just seems to be getting onto everything. This is some paper that I've dyed with avocado, so I'm just going to get my glue. Oh no, I'm not getting my glue. No, I'm not. I'm going to work out where I need this to be just by folding, and I'll show you why in a minute. So that is there. fold and tear. I'll show you why I'm doing it this way in a moment. So as you know, I've just been to Vietnam, and in Vietnam I went to a paper factory and I bought the most delightful handmade papers. This is the edges of one of the handmade papers. This is it printed on. Oh, how delicious is that? This is it printed on from the paper cameo again from the Isabel range with an envelope that I'm going to make at some point. But from when I printed that, and it's took the print so beautifully, I just wish I'd have bought a great big pile of this paper, but it was really expensive, so I didn't. So now I'll have to go back to Vietnam and get some more. So I've got the handmade paper and I'm going to use that to edge instead of using lace. So let me just distress the side. I'm going to have this as my side to write on. I know it's dark pink. Let's just edge around that. That's already got its own natural edging on. Oh, I'm so excited for this journal. Got so many things that I'm doing, but I want to finish what I'm doing, so I allow myself to do a little bit of ephemera, maybe every day or every other day for this journal. Right, so that is going to go on the back of there. So what I want to do is I want to put an edge of this handmade paper instead of lace around. So I'm going to tear this one straight down the middle. I'm not backing this because I don't want to waste this paper being hidden, because I wanted this because I love this fluffy edging. It's really pretty, isn't it? If I can take a bit off here too, because this isn't as fluffy this side. You know when something just comes into your mind? I've started a course on dyeing fabrics, textiles, and trying to use textiles that you wouldn't think of using and dyes you wouldn't think of using. But it's just given me so much inspiration to do other things. I mean, these bottles that I'm finding when I go mudlarking with my daughter, so bottles like this, I've just been hanging on the branches of trees. So obviously not down so that they fall off and break. So they're on the branches pointing up. So when I look outside my craft room, I can see them. It looks amazing. When I've got all my bottles on, I'll show you, I promise. Right, let's get my Fabri-Tac. I'm just going to go across the top here. Look at that from where I've painted through as well. Doesn't that look amazing? I mean, that would be a brilliant back to the journal, to the journaling card, but the paper's too fine to do that. So anyway, now before this Fabri-Tac erupts all over the place, let's stick this paper on. So I just want it to come over just a little bit. Oh, that's exactly right. That's exactly what I wanted. Looks nice, that, doesn't it? So we'll just tear it off and a bit less, and we'll run it down that next side. You could do this with lace, you don't have to do it. It's your choice. Then I'll show you what I'm going to do with this, because I do want to edge this as well. One thing with me, I can't, where it overlaps, because it's fluffy, you can't even really see that the two papers are overlapping there. Got a little tub here for my bits and bobs. Just put it in there because I just don't want to throw anything away. Oh, I love that. It looks really good. But what I wanted this to look like is a very old envelope that I have. No, not a very old envelope, a very old postcard that I have decided to just paint on the surface of. You see those effects. Gosh, I think it's looking so lovely. I'm really proud of myself. Yay! This course, although it's textiles, it's really giving me confidence to practice things and think, well, actually, yeah, I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. So let's have a go and experiment. It's giving me more confidence. And of course, I'm so inspired by the fabulous creators. Look at that. I don't know whether to do that. I think I might just leave it. I think it might look too much to pop a stamp on there. So there's the fabulous creators, Robin, Dudley House, Artsy Bohemian, and Mary at Lilac Pages. They give me so much inspiration too. Just so much to learn, isn't there? Right, I'm going to put... I was going to stitch around here, but I don't know what to do now. I don't think I will. Just going to put dry glue on there, and plenty of it, while I make a decision in my head whether or not I do want to do a stitch. I think I will actually. I was going to do a blanket stitch, but I don't think I will. I mean, this is another thing I could have done. I could have, on that lady, I could have done some freestyle embroidery, but I don't feel confident enough yet with that, so I'm not. Just let me turn this paper over. There we go. Right, let's pop her face down on there. We don't want any more water and glue accidents, do we? And then we could just pop that over the back. That's why I did that first too, just to measure it, to make sure it was the right size. Yay, look at that. That looks fab, doesn't it? And now that can just be journaled on. And actually, this is my new stencil that I bought at Hobbycraft. And I'm actually, I think I've just put down here this little bird. I'm just going to use my distress ink that was inking with. I've not added any more ink onto it because I don't want it any darker than what it already is. And there we are, we've got the little bird on the back of it too. I'm cooking on gas today, so there we go, there's the back, there's the front, and I'm just going to machine stitch around this edge. So I'll be back in a moment to show you the finished thing. So here we go, I've just stitched around it with a simple straight stitch. This is not the easiest paper. This handmade paper was not easy to stitch. Now I've got my favourite thing in the world at the minute, which is this liquid metal by Vallejo, and what I've decided to do is just run around the edge of the handmade paper in the liquid metal. So I'm literally going to pop my brush in there, wipe off as much as I can, then I'm literally just gonna go around the edge like this, just to add some bling, just a bit of that. Sorry if I went off screen. Excuse me. Just to add a little bit of golden blingy luster to the proceedings. I love this liquid metal. I'm going to treat myself to some more. Now you could just use rub and buff if you wanted to, or other gilding powder that you might have. Right, I'm going round it a bit more confidently now. Oh, it just adds to the edge effect as well, this. You could use any gold paint, I suppose. Oh, I love it. I love it. So there we go. Let's move this. and there is the finished product. And absolutely, how beautiful does that look? I think it's just enough, and it'll be a fabulous piece of ephemera within my journal. So thank you for watching.